Hello guys, good morning. I welcome you all on the platform of Unacademy. Join it as soon as it's possible, then we will start the discussion, guys. So today we are going to discuss some of the amazing MCQs of static economy. Very important for all of the students to join it. Join it fast. Join it fast, guys. Very important for all of the students to join it. Alright, voice is clear? Voice is clear? Yeah. So it's my profile, it's official Telegram channel. You should join it to get the regular updates and notifications. Why you should get an Academy Plus subscription, guys? You'll be getting daily live classes over there. You'll be getting live tests and quizzes over there. At the very same time, the courses are very structured, and you'll be getting complete courses in a given period of the time. You'll be able to complete your syllabus, right? And once you get the subscription in any of the given category, you'll be able to get the access to each and every course that is available on that particular platform, right? And one more specification that is associated with this one, guys, it's every fourth session that is basically the doubt clearing session over there, right? So join it fast. So this is the fee structure. It's a fee structure, guys, and whenever you'll be using GK Live code, immediately you'll be getting 10% off. Again, these are some of the specific kind of batches for the UPPSC they are going on. You can go over there and join these kind of batches, right? Again, guys, if any of the students just want to get the subscription, go and get it by just applying the GK Live code. You'll be getting 10% off, right? So let's start the discussion, guys. Question number one. Question number one. MSF and NDTL. These are two terms which are in the news. They are related to, see, I had already made you understand that terms related to the economy which are in the news, they can directly be asked, and some of the terms which are mentioned by the government of India in the economic survey, it means by the chief economic advisor in the economic survey, they can be directly asked by the UPSC itself, right? So you need to be very aware about these kind of terms. Whatever term that is in the news in the economy, right? They are highly important. Answer it fast, guys. NDTL. Alright, guys, let's start the discussion. See, Both of the rates are MSF rate and NDTL. These kind of terms they are related to the banking operations of India. NDTL on fine day I also discussed about it. ND it means net demand and time liabilities. What is demand liabilities? In case of the demand liabilities, guys, they are just they are needed to be given to the customer whenever the customer will demand, especially from any of the bank, right? Because they are actually the assets for the customers and they are needed to be returned in the liability side of the bank, right? So that is why in any of the deposit that belong to current account and saving account, that is something so called demand liability. Any deposit under both of the accounts, guys, needed to be given whenever they are demanded by the customer, right? In case of the time liabilities are that type of liabilities which they can only be given after being completed of the certain period of the time, right? So this is the actual meaning of it. Banking operations, right? Next question for today, guys. The main objective of 12th 5-year plan is. What is the main objective of 12th 5-year plan? The main objective of 12th 5-year plan is. Answer it fast, guys. What was the main objective that was associated with the 12th 5-year plan? Inclusive growth and poverty reductions. Inclusive and sustainable growth. Sustainable growth. Sustainable and inclusive growth to reduce the unemployment. And faster, sustainable, and more inclusive growth. So, which of the given statement is correct in this regard? Answer it fast, guys. So, alright, let's start the discussion. D becomes the correct answer, guys. Faster, sustainable, and more inclusive growth, right? More inclusive growth, it means, guys, what is inclusive growth? What exactly the inclusive growth is? Inclusive growth, it means, guys, that type of growth which is achieved by just mentioning or by considering each and every section of the society, let's say poor section of the society as well as the rich section of the society, that kind of development or that kind of growth that is achieved by considering both or all as well as all means marginalized and rich section of the society, that is called as inclusive growth, right? And more importantly, when inclusive growth focuses and it is tilted more towards the poor one, right? Because the historical exploitation of the poor people, that is more, and still they are suffering from these kind of problems. So that is why poor persons, poor societies, they are needed to give the aid, give the support, so that guys mainstream they can be brought in the mainstream development, right? So D becomes the correct answer. Let's move towards the next question, guys. The first statement is AIIB, Asian Infrastructure and Investment Bank. See, all of the international financial institutions which are in the news are really important and relevant. Directly can be asked. There is structure, body, shareholding, right? Directly it can be asked. AIIB was set up 1966. Second statement, India is the largest shareholder of it. India is the largest shareholder of it. Only one, only two, both, and none. Mark a star on this question. Both of these statements are really, really important. AIIB, Asian Infrastructure and Investment Bank, was set up in 1966. India is the largest shareholder of this bank, in this bank especially. So wait guys, I'm coming within 1-2 minutes. Try to answer to this particular question, very important one. Alright guys, let's start the discussion. Wait, yeah. So AIIB, it was not set up in the 1996, 1966 rather. It was basically set up in the year of 2015. I repeatedly said to all of the students, international financial institutions establishment year is very important, right? Try to remember that some factual statements can also be given in the actual exam. So has been set up in the year of 2015. What is the major aim, guys? It generally used to fund to the infrastructure project in the developing countries as well as in the developed countries, right? And one of other motive or other objectives of or behind setting up of this bank, it is, guys, poverty eradication. It is also there, right? So first statement definitely wrong. India is not the largest shareholder in this bank, guys. Please try to remember it. China is the largest shareholder. If this kind of logic would have been applied by all of the students, that if the China is taking part in that type of bank, and India, how India can the largest shareholder in it? China is the largest one. But after that, it is succeed it or is it is proceeded by the India. So both of the statements are wrong in this regard, and D becomes the correct answer. Make sure that all of the students are remembering to these all statements very important, right? Let's move towards the next question. Move towards the next question, guys. Fast. The first statement is masala bonds. Masala bonds. Masala bonds are onshore onshore bonds. Try to remember the specifications which are associated with the masala bonds. Repeatedly, Government of India is releasing it, right? Masala bonds are onshore bonds and zero coupon bonds doesn't have any rate of interest on them. Only one, only two, both, and none. Mark your star on this question and then answer it first. Voice is clear to all of the students? Voice is 100% clear to all of the students? Yeah. So answer it fast. Masala bonds are onshore bonds and zero coupon bonds doesn't have any rate of interest on them. See, in the securities market, there is a maximum possibility these kind of questions can be asked, right? In case of the economic guys, whatever thing that is in the news, it is generally important. Masala bonds are onshore bonds. Zero coupon bonds doesn't have any rate of interest on them. Fast guys, answer it. They doesn't have any rate of interest on them. Read the read the question carefully. Think about it and then answer it. Fast guys, answer it fast. Alright guys, let's consider some more information. Is definitely not going to be statement because they are not also they are actually used by the government of India and the offshore countries to get to the maximum amount of the rupee. Right. So masala bonds are basically rupee denominated bonds released in the foreign markets to get own currency that is basically rupee. Right. So if government of India or RBI just want to get on currency, it means that means rupee. They generally used to release the masala bonds in the offshore countries or in the foreign countries, right? It means the first statement is wrong in this regard. Zero coupon means what is the meaning of coupon, guys? The actual meaning of the coupon it is rate of interest. So they are actually non-interest bearing kind of bonds. Second statement is right, first is wrong. B becomes the correct answer. Let's move towards the next question. Statement one. Statement one is statement one is guys. India is a net importer of the services. India is a net importer of the services. India is a net exporter of the pulses. Only one, only two, both, and none. Mark a star on this question, extremely, extremely important. India is a net importer of the services, India is a net exporter of the services. So, which of the given statement it is correct in this regard? Extremely important. Guys, you can only solve to these all questions by just going through the economic survey, right? There are a lot of tables which they've been drawn over there, but you need to draw down the effective kind of conclusion of out of those all tables, right? So economic survey plays a very important role in your preparation. India is a net importer of the services. India is a net exporter of the pulses. So which of the given statement is correct out of them? Only one, only two, both, and none. First, answer it guys fast. India is a net importer of the services. India is a net exporter of the pulses. Alright guys, let's start the discussion of this question. Very important one. See, in the last year economic survey and this year's economic survey, both of the surveys guys both of the survey which belong to the consecutive years, they have directly mentioned that India is actually net exporter of the services, right? So this statement is directly wrong. India is basically net exporter of the services, not the net importer. Very, very, very important. Try to remember this statement. Guys, these kind of statements are directly picked from the economic survey, so you need to be very aware and you need to go through the tables in a very deep or expensive, intensive kind of way, so that guys you can come to know about the answers of these all questions, right? India is, again I'm repeating guys, India is net exporter of the services. This is really most important thing, where most of the items which we are basically exporting it in the lesser quantity, and we are importing importing them in a major or bulk quantity, but as in case of the services guys. And one more is important point is, India is overall suffering from the current account deficit, right? We are actually suffering from the CAD, but even though we are net exporter of the services, this is the most important, or it's a beauty of Indian economy guys, right? So that is why it is directly implying, or directly indicating that we belong to the developing country. So that, but even though we are the net exporter of the services, so the growth in the service sector since 1990, or after being allowed the private companies to operate or operationalize in India, that has been enormous, right? So LPG, post LPG reforms, our achievement in case of the services, that is really excellent or tremendous or strong. As of now, there is huge uproar, huge debate related to this one going on, that why India is importing year on year, the import of the pulses that is going high. Since last 3 4 years, the import of the pulses that is consistently increasing. So the current account deficit, it is not actually healing, and it is not basically not giving the time to heal the current account deficit, because guys we are importing too much of the pulses. And this particular tendency, it has been highlighted in the recent report of the World Bank, that If any of the poor person that belong to the poor section of the society, the habit to consume the pulses it is more as compared to the developed countries as well as other poorest countries of the world, right? So India is actually a net importer of the pulses. First is wrong, second is wrong, D becomes the correct answer. Let's move towards the next question. First statement, guys. The first statement is Indian economy suffers from twin deficit problem. Indian economy suffers from twin deficit problem. Effective revenue deficit. Effective revenue deficit was supported by Finance Commission and Finance Commission said that this concept should be should remain in the operation. Should remain in the operation. Only one, only two, both, and none. Mark star on this one. Indian economy suffers from the twin deficit problem and effective revenue deficit. Repeatedly, it has been supported by the Finance Commission and it has been stated that it should remain in the operation, right? It should not be ceased to operate. Fast, guys. Answer it. Again, I would like to say, guys, read the question carefully. Alright, guys, let's start the discussion. I hope you have gone through this particular question. Alright, Indian economy actually suffers from the twin deficit kind of problem, and the second statement, finance commission, it is in the support to make the effective revenue deficit stick. Or so let's start the discussion. Indian economy, yeah, everyone knows, guys, we are actually suffering from the overall fiscal deficit is there, and the current account deficit it is also there. It means jointly they are called or considered as twin deficit, right? So very important kind of a statement. Try to read it. So first statement definitely right. Effective revenue deficit, guys. Effective revenue deficit. Make sure that all of the students are remembering to it. 14th Finance Commission clearly stated this one that in fact the concept of the effective revenue deficit it should be left by the government of India as soon as it's possible because it is not providing any kind of way to the government, right? Getting my point? Effective revenue deficit minus. It actually indicates the revenue deficit subtracted by the grants which are given from the center to the states, right? So the second statement it is definitely right. It has been stated by the 14th as well as 15th Finance Commission repeatedly. They are saying that government should basically left the concept of the effective revenue deficit, right? So the second statement definitely wrong. First statement is right. A becomes the correct answer. I hope all of the students are getting my point. But extremely important kind of question, right? Right, guys. Let's move towards the next question. The first statement is first statement is the first statement is guys. CRAR is decided by every bank individually. CRAR gives support. CRAR gives support to banks bank loans. Only one, only two, both and none. Mark a star on this one. Important question. CRAR is decided by every bank individually, and CRAR actually gives the support to the bank loans. So, which of the given statement is correct in this regard? Extremely important. Answer it fast. Fast guys, answer it. CRAR, it means guys, capital to risk weighted assets ratio. You should know the basic things related to this concept. Again, I would like to say or suggest to all of the students the terms related to economy they are highly important. Directly can be asked in the actual exam. So make sure that you are just remembering to it. Alright guys, let's start the discussion. What is CRAR? First, you should know about the concept, that is concept of CRAR. CRAR. Try to know the full form. Capital to risk weighted assets ratio, right? What exactly this one? This is risk weighted assets. What is risk weighted assets? See, if you are seeking any kind of loan from the bank and bank have just allocated the loan, who knows that you are definitely going to pay it back to the bank. There is no asset possibility or certainty in the loan, or that kind of assets they have been allocated by the banks, right? Loan, actually loan is basically an asset of the bank that has been given to the customer, so there is no asset certainty or possibility that banks will definitely be able to recover the loan from the customers, right? So there is always a risk. So that for the risk guys, to cover these kind of risk weighted assets, banks generally used to keep it one of the reserve. They generally used to maintain reserve at the back end, so that if any of the customer will basically go on the default against their loan, banks can have the capital. Their capital should not be completely squeezed, right? So this is the actual idea or whole idea behind the CRAR. It is not decided by the every bank, guys. RBI, who is the banking regulator in India, guys, that is RBI, right? So CRAR, it is not decided, or it is not different for each and every kind of bank. It is actually decided by Reserve Bank of India, and it is generally kept at a single level for each and every bank which they are just operating in India, right? So first statement definitely wrong. Yeah, it gives a support to the bank loans. B becomes a correct answer, right? It should be clear to all of the students. I don't think so that there is any kind of doubt. So guys, I hope you like this session. Make sure that you like it, share it with the maximum friends, and we'll be meeting very soon. Till then, bye bye, take care, and thank you for attending the class. Make sure that you like it, share it with the maximum friends, and if any of the students just want to get the subscription, go and get it by just applying the GK Live code. Bye bye, take care, thank you.